Welcome to Diamond Brothers. You've joined us here at our Mayfair store. It's been 2 weeks since Watches and Wonders. We're going to break down some of the new releases.
If you didn't know already, Watches and Wonders is an annual event held in Switzerland where all the major watch brands showcase their latest releases.
This could be a very controversial week for us watch dealers as we're all waiting around to see these releases, whether they're good or bad, and it can really affect the year going forward.
Okay guys, let's kick things off. We're going to start with Rolex. I want you to discuss the new OP with the 100 on the dial.
I like it. I think it's cool. It's interesting.
Yeah, personally not my sort of style. I appreciate it as a watch. Obviously, anything that's an anniversary watch is kind of cool.
Like I said in the video I made, I think it'll be a short run of a watch that's only 100 years, well, 100-year anniversary, so.
Keeping on the topic of OPs, that new Jubilee dial, that crazy pattern dial, what do you think?
Again, I mentioned that in the video we've done as well. Again, it's not personally like my style or my sort of choice, but I do think it will perform in the market. Just like the Celebration dial, there's a lot of hype on it, and I think that will be the same.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's not my cup of tea, but I can appreciate the dial.
Okay guys, the new ombre Rolex Datejust with that green ombre dial. What do you think about that?
Do you mean the gradient dial?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's like the older dials, the gold vignette. Just get your facts right.
I'm not a massive fan, to be honest. I mean, I've only seen it on the mock-up pictures, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that them sort of dials are better on day dates and stuff. You know, I think they're just copying stuff they've already done.
Yeah, it might have been in person. I quite like it, but it might have been in person.
A lot of people saying it's taken away from the day date. Those day dates look special.
I agree. I mean, because like they're meant to be seen as like special dials that you're only going to get on full gold models, and it's like when they're on Datejust, it's like. And I do agree what Ben says. Like, yes, we used to have vignette dials back in the 90s and stuff, but it's not the same in my opinion.
Okay, and a controversial return of the Yachtmaster 2.
Hate it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
It's an eyesore of a watch.
Yeah, I saw pictures of it at Watches and Wonders of it sitting in the window, and it was horrible. Didn't look nice at all.
Yeah, no.
Downgrade from the last.
I mean,
the last one wasn't great.
I mean, that's the thing. I had to even downgrade from the last one anyway.
Yeah,
is a task in itself, but they've done that.
yeah, interesting to watch.
How do you think it'll perform in the market?
It probably will sell. Like even the Yachtmaster, the old one, it's still not a terrible seller, but in terms of what I like, the opposite.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be going under list. The list price will be.
Yeah, I think the list price is 19,000.
19K.
Yeah, it's mental
well
money.
under list. Yeah.
Mental money.
Some of the off-catalogues were some of the most popular releases this year. I don't know if any of them spring to mind for you guys. Which one stands out to you at all?
Yeah, GMT definitely. I mean, obviously we can talk about the Daytona.
Well, for me, the
a bit.
Daytona, I'd say it's probably them.
I need to see that in real life. I know. Since the release day, I've learned a bit more about it. It's an enamel dial. The bezel's made
Platinum.
No, the bezel's not platinum. Like the actual, it's not ceramic. It's made out of something else.
I'm sure the bezel's platinum, no?
It's not
No,
platinum.
it's the bezel and the bezel's platinum on it.
Yeah, the ring, but it's not ceramic anymore.
No, it's not ceramic. The whole bezel is platinum.
It's black. Again, I need to see it in person, but first thought is it's mental money for what it is.
Yeah.
It's
Stainless steel watch, basically.
It's a Panda that's 4 times the price of a normal one, which is.
I don't know how they can justify the retail price of it when it's mostly a steel watch.
And I understand it is an enamel dial, and I know I think they do cost them a lot to make them sort of things, but did we really need that?
I think it was probably maybe a little bit overshadowed by the new Jubilee Gold day dates potentially.
That I mean that's definitely the best
Top release.
Yeah, I mean, if we're not talking off catalogue, they're definitely the best releases, and I'm really looking forward to actually seeing them in person, like because obviously I've seen an AP Sand Gold in person, and the colours are lovely, and I think should be a nice watch.
Yeah.
So guys, overall, how are you rating Rolex? Ben first, what are you giving it out of 10?
6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say 5.
Yeah, a lot of the other releases at Watches and Wonders from the other brands were a lot nicer, I think.
Okay, so let's move on to one of the other brands. Let's move on to Patek Philippe. Little controversial one again. Just off the top of your head, standout releases from Patek this year?
Again, it's underwhelming.
Yeah, it's underwhelming. Compared to 40th
It
anniversary,
looks exactly the
40th
same.
anniversary was
It's like
much nicer.
there's no special part on the dial. There's no like year on the dial, which I think they should.
All the 40th anniversaries had nice writing on the dial, baguettes in the dial.
Yeah,
much nicer than the 50th.
Exactly. Like it's not special.
No.
They've not gone above and beyond for it to be an anniversary watch. It'll be one of them watches where, if you know it's an anniversary, you'll know. But I feel like they
Fair
should have they should have done something with it.
If you know that.
The major thing is that they've got a 50th anniversary rotor. Some people say that's a little bit too similar
Okay,
to what
yeah, AP.
Yeah, definitely copy AP.
Yeah,
AP done that.
Yeah, it's quite underwhelming.
Could be better, especially from Patek as well. You know, you do expect
Yeah.
more from Patek.
Yeah.
You know,
their off-catalogue release of the year, technically off-catalogue, is that desk quad.
Yeah, that's cool.
that's
I
sick.
like that's wicked. The price of it's like $240,000 or pounds, I think it's crazy price, but
I think
very
that
cool. If you got the money for it,
yeah, if you got the money for
100%.
that's class.
Yeah, it'll be sitting right there.
They've also expanded the Cubitus line with the new skeleton or half skeleton Cubus.
That's the thing. I think they should have picked whether they were doing a
Yeah.
skeleton or they would do, like.
I think it's quite cool though. I think it's quite
It's
cool.
okay. I'm not a fan of the Cubitus anyway. I mean, he likes them.
I like the blue one.
Not a
Yeah,
fan.
platinum
Not a
one.
fan. Another one to add to the Patek is the Celestial calendar.
Yeah,
What have they done there?
Mm.
The strap they put on that. It's meant to be a classy looking watch, and you know,
Trying to make it sporty.
on a leather strap, you can't beat that. They've put it on an awful sporty rubber strap with an awful pattern on it. That for me is the worst release out of all the releases.
Yeah, I think they're
think
trying
it's
to be a bit
terrible.
like Richard Mille there and be a bit different, but
It's so loud and
I think
vulgar.
it's very good.
So overall, guys, you would say Patek was underwhelming?
Not as underwhelming as a Rolex,
yeah,
but
yeah.
still. I mean, because you expect more
Yeah.
from Patek. You know, you do
you
expect.
do.
You expect something good, you know.
And if you had to rate Patek out of 10, what would you be rating, guys?
I'd go one above Rolex 6.
Yeah, I'll go 7.
Okay, guys, moving on now to Cartier. Are there any notable releases that spring to mind for you guys?
Yeah. For me, and I'm not even normally a Cartier man, but I think the new Dumont on the full bracelet is one of the best releases from all the brands out of these releases, in my opinion. I think that's a smart watch. I really like that.
And I like the Cartier Crash Platinum Skeleton. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, cool watch.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool watch. That's what I think. I think the Dumont will be
Yeah, reasonable
money.
Yeah,
you know, like
it'll be-
it's not going to be out of
Yeah,
reach
it'll
for
be
most people.
Yeah, the Crash will be
Um,
crazy money.
Yeah, and I think obviously with it being a gold model, they'll be in our market for a lot less than retail price. So
definitely, 100%.
I think it'll be quite a good watch
Yeah,
in our
yeah.
market, to be honest with you, once it does start sort of coming out.
Speaking of which, the Roadster's returned, so it's discontinued for a few years.
Yeah.
It's a reasonably popular watch. or
One of my first watches, one of my first
Yeah.
proper luxury watches I owned. Yeah.
I think
Like
anyone that's sort of like over the age of, you know, late 20s, early 30s, I think
had a Roadster.
Yeah,
If-
not just had a
No,
Roadster,
no.
but like, you know, most people know what a Roadster is,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, you know, most people would have maybe started their watch collecting with a Roadster, or, you know, it's quite, you know, I think it's cool that they brought it back.
Yeah.
It's a cool watch.
Okay, then overall, guys, Cartier, did they outdo your expectations?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
I'll give him a 7.
Yeah. Same. Can you give it 7 the same as? Can you give it the same as Patek?
Yeah, but like it's not. You're not gonna. It's like
Yeah.
you're not expecting Cartier to have a better watch than Patek,
Yeah,
but
course.
what you are expecting is Patek to do better
Outdo
with their
themselves.
releases.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%,
yeah,
100%.
exactly that.
Right, guys, moving on to Vacheron. I think they're a hit this year, but I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
like them a lot.
The new dual time,
Yeah.
the north, east, south, wests. I think they're really up there for me.
Yeah.
Never been much of a Vacheron man. Haven't really sold many Vacherons in our time, but I'm looking forward to seeing that watch in person. I think they're unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree. I like them a lot. I don't really like the strap on them that much, but maybe the strap's can be changed for a rubber strap or something else. But apart from that, they look really good. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to rate Vacheron overall based on one watch,
Yeah.
but you're
Yeah.
impressed by the new release?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So what do you think it says about the watch industry at the moment that Vacheron and Cartier are almost outshining brands like Rolex and Patek?
It's interesting. It's good to see. I mean, it's our market is primarily Patek and Rolex and AP. It'd be nice to see some other brands which sell, because at the moment, if you have a Vacheron or a Cartier, it might not move that fast. So
People might not agree, but it says to me that Rolex and Patek are running out of ideas. To be honest with you.
yeah, I think
And it's probably leaving a bit of a gap in the market for these other brands to have a bit of a resurgence, to be honest with you. Like, if you look at Vacheron, they've got a lot of history in their brand, and, you know, in COVID times, they were flying Vacheron. But if you look recently, you know, some watches are going majorly under retail.
Yeah, you can get a Vacheron overseas for unbelievable price,
Yeah.
under 20k.
So maybe we will see a bit of a resurgence from these brands now, and which, like Ben said, it will be better, because more variety for us is better. You know, we like selling a bit more variety. It's not that we just enjoy selling Rolex and Patek. You know,
Meet more clients.
we like to broaden our horizons a bit.
One thing maybe to touch on, obviously, with the new releases also comes in discontinuations.
Yeah.
We haven't yet touched on the major elephant in the room, which is obviously the Pepsi being discontinued, and how that's going to affect the watch market going forward, if we think we're going to see it coming back next year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there was all that talk about the red not working on the bezel, which I think is
a load of lies.
yeah, that's not
We
true.
think so.
You know,
Right.
they've made
Been doing it for 10 years.
They've been making
plus.
making a Pepsi for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
They've done it on the white gold model, then they
Yeah.
moved to the stainless
Yeah.
steel model.
All of a sudden they can't make it. It doesn't really
Yeah.
make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
They'll
no.
probably bring it back next year
I
or
think-
whenever as a Coke.
I agree. Yeah, Coke.
Yeah.
I think Coke's. I thought it'd be this year.
That was your first watch.
Yeah, my first
First
Rolex.
proper one,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I would like to see that, to be honest with you. But
Why do we think that they discontinued the Pepsi? Just to generate
you
money?
know, I think everything has to be discontinued at some point. You know, nothing stays forever. Even some of the best watches that we've seen made get discontinued. I just think it's part of their marketing strategy.
Yeah.
You know, it gets people talking. How many people were talking about the Pepsi in the lead up, and the day of discontinuation, we only had phone calls on that day about Pepsis.
About
we
10 phone calls plus.
plus more.
Looking to sell
No,
Pepsi.
every single phone call was about Pepsi.
Yeah.
Someone selling. So that's what it does to the market. You know, it gets people.
Yeah, it builds hype.
But a lot of it's fake hype as well. You know, people the same day it got discontinued, people are asking close to 30k for a Pepsi, and it's like, you know, is it realistic? Probably not. And even now, we haven't bought a Pepsi since discontinuation because the market is all over the place in them. We want to wait for it to stabilise a little bit before we're putting our money back into them. But yeah, obviously, yeah, it is good for the market. It gets people talking that aren't even involved in watches.
Yeah.
You know, I've had people talking to me that, you know, don't even really care about watches too much, and that, you know, they know about the Pepsi being discontinued. That's the sort of hype it does create. So it is good to see. It does shine a good light on our industry at the same time, which is, you know, you can't complain about that.
I'm interested to know what watches you're hoping to get your hands on first of the new releases. What's the one that you're excited to see in the metal to really make a judgment on it?
Probably for me, maybe the Daytona. I'd like to see that watch, see why it's 60 grand.
Yeah.
But probably not going to see that for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, who's actually going to get offered that watch?
Yeah.
I mean, how
Oscar.
many people? Yeah, true. How many people are going to get their hands on that watch? But for me, I think it's that new Jubilee Gold
that'd be
Day
cool.
with a leaf design dial. I'd like to see that in person. I think that'd be very cool. But to be honest with you,
Not much else. I'm really the Yacht 2 would be interesting to see, just to see how ugly it is.
I'm interested to see the prices. To be
Yeah,
honest with you,
yeah.
like what the first
Yeah.
sort of few examples will be of price wise, and like, you know, even like I said earlier, the Cartier. The list price is going to be super high at the moment because the gold price being so high. But you know,
See where it goes
what
for
will the
the
first
secondary market.
few be in this market be? I think that's the main thing I'm looking forward to as well.
Aside from new releases and discontinuations, is there anything surprising about Watches and Wonders that strikes you?
I did think the Olive would go. I did think it was going to be the year.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
I thought so. I mean, look, it's been going on for so long.
Yeah.
What is it? 10
It's just
10-year anniversary of the
Yeah,
Olive,
true.
which is like, you know, I thought they were going to do, whether they made something similar, they got rid of that. And I think a lot of people were banking on that going as well. There was a lot of people holding.
Yeah, a lot of dealers hold their stock for the.
Not just dealers as well, but
Yeah,
like, you know,
and clients.
a lot of customers holding, thinking it was going to go. I was actually surprised by that, to be honest. I thought that was definitely going to go.
Do we think that brands are trying to, I'm not sure, maybe get more money out of us or something along those lines, in the fact that they're discontinuing some of the more popular stainless steel models, replacing them with precious metal models? Even the new Pateks, they limit to 2,000, 1,000 pieces. Are they trying to create scarcity? What do you think the angle is there?
I think that yeah, you can agree with that. I think also, if you look at like some of the watches that a lot of brands are bringing out now, like for example, you can use the OPs, for example. All these like very basic watch, but with colourful dials. They're kind of trying to make stuff collectible. And if you look, Breitling done a similar thing. They released a range of very basic watches, but all different colour dials. And I think people are trying to, you know, make that a pattern of, you know, let's make.
Create some fake hype. Maybe.
Yeah, it is fake hype because you
It's
know
an OP is only a £5 watch, £6 watch.
if you're talking about like actual like watchmaking and, you know, not a great watch, it's the most basic movement you can put in a Rolex. What some of these, you know, Celebration and the Tiffany going for
20k.
nearly £20,000
Yeah,
just for the colour of a dial.
it's crazy.
It is crazy. So I think a lot of brands are trying to sort of create that effect with their watches now as well, which I'm not a massive fan of.
I know it's already a year away, Watches and Wonders 2027, but a lot of people were always hoping that Rolex would release a new model. They did that last year, the Landweller. People didn't really seem to love that. This year they've sort of not released a new model but reintroduced some old ones. For you guys, what would it be that they could do next year that would be them getting it right?
I think, do you know what? One thing I've said is Rolex need to move on to better watchmaking. Like, for example, why have they not got an annual calendar, a perpetual calendar, or a moon phase? They've got none of that stuff on a Rolex, you know? If you look at all their brands that they're competing with, Patek, Vacheron, AP, they've all got these really, like, you know, crazy movements, crazy open backs, like crazy skeletonized movements. You know, Rolex have never done anything like that. If you think really with Rolex, it's very basic what they're doing in comparison to a lot of the other brands. I think they could definitely be doing more and pushing like the classier side out there a bit more.
Maybe they can dig into their archives and remake older models like the Paul Newman or the Steve McQueen, put a modern twist on them, do something a little bit more interesting like that.
Okay guys, so I'm wondering on your overall thoughts on Watches and Wonders. Is the event as a whole overhyped? Was this year just particularly a letdown, or what do you think it is overall, and do you think it deserves the attention that it gets ultimately?
To be fair, if I look back at the last few years of waiting around for Watches and Wonders, I don't think I've ever been over the moon with the releases, and I don't think we ever will be. Can't complain about the hype it creates, because like I said earlier, it creates hype even outside our industry, and it brings more people into this to get excited. Yeah, it's overhyped, but not complaining at the same time, because it does help us as a business, and it brings more people involved in this watch industry, so which is always going to be good for us.
Yeah, we've never been to Watches and Wonders, but maybe next year, now we're celebrities, we might go.
Don't put that in.
Slightly different style video today, guys. Hope you liked it. If you want to see anything like this in future,
Comment below.
let us know.